Door window schedules are about as exciting as your dad's sock drawer, but they're extremely important to a good set of architectural documents. So today, regardless of your skill level, I'm going to teach you something. Are you ready? Let's go. If you're new here, we're using the ultimate Archicad template, which I've been building out for many moons, if not even over a year now. Basically, it's my template that is designed to help all other architects and designers around the world speed up their workflow. And what you'll see is we have all of our windows and our doors already in place just on a wall on the ground floor. I've gone ahead and created all the window tags and the door tags as well. So that is part of the latest update this month. If you're interested, it's in Patreon down below. So if you Command T on one of the windows, you'll see this is one of my custom windows, but it's just using the standard Archicad window object available to us. The window tags, for instance, are also custom. In favorites, you'll see a DT door tag and a DT window tag. I purposely made the window tags and the door tags different to easily identify the difference between a window and a door tag when you're looking at a very busy schedule. But our end goal, regardless, is to get our window schedule looking like this and our door schedule looking like this. Now, this has come a huge way from the original Archicad template and probably looks very different to what your door window schedule looks like. So let me break it down. Let's start with the window schedule. We obviously have our elevation plan, our ID marker, WD01, which background floor, is linking this tag to this window. We have how many, the sill, the head height, the window frame material, which is aluminium in this case, the window frame color, which is night sky, the hardware, the glass color, the glass configuration, single, double, triple glaze, fly screens, aluminium, fiberglass, stainless steel, retractable, and then additional information like U values and HEC values when you have an energy report. Obviously, this is part of a template, not a real project, so an energy report doesn't exist. And then, of course, window treatments, a whole bunch of series that you can tick on and off. Finally, I have important notes, both on the window schedule and on the door schedule. Now, the important notes could be fire rating levels, it could be if they're sprinklered, it could be if there's a special tint, it could be any sort of information that isn't available through one of the other categories that you can just go ahead and type in. The door schedule, very similar sort of setup to make sure they're very cohesive. Again, an elevation plan view. I didn't do a plan view on either of them. I just thought it was a bit basic. So I skipped that entirely and removed it. We have our ID, quantities, leaf dimensions, which is interestingly different to our frame dimensions and something I need to look into as to why this door isn't working properly. So I'll make sure that's updated before this template goes live in February on Patreon. Of course, door frame material, door frame type, a whole bunch of options that you can add or subtract from. I'll teach you how to do that in a little minute. The frame finish, the leaf finish, the glass, if it's applicable at all, the leaf thickness, handle type, handle height, hinge type, any door accessories. So for example, if it's a wall mounted door stop with a door seal, and if it's a fire door or not, and of course, important notes. Now, all of these things are incredibly important that we include or exclude potentially for your scenario. But if you're new to door and window schedules, how the hell do you go from the standard schedule to something like this? Well, in the top right hand corner, you have schedule settings, and then you have all of the fields down below. You'll see my fields align with the headers on the left hand side in the gray here. I may have renamed some of them. So for example, view from opening side, I've renamed elevation preview. Same as element ID, I've just dumbed it down to ID. All of these are either custom or default in Archicad. For me, a lot of these are actually custom. But irrespective, adding them to this schedule is the same. You just go add field and you search for whatever you're looking for. So if I just type in door, you'll see there's all sorts of different elements you can add to this schedule, from reveal dimensions to unit dimensions to door widths, number of doors and zones, and a whole bunch of other criteria. If you need it, so for example, door window acoustic rating, you can double click it or single click and then press add at the bottom. It'll add it to your list. You press OK, it'll drop it into the bottom. Now for me personally, I make it bold and push it to the left on the left-hand panel here, but I don't need the acoustic rating, so I'm just going to remove that and press OK. If you wanted to move items up and down the list, well, pretty simple, drag them up and down the list and it will actually change. Now, like I said, a lot of these are custom. So for example, leaf dimension is built into Archicad, but door frame material isn't. I've created this specifically and I've put in timber, aluminium and steel specifically. But how did I do that? Well, if you're on a Mac, you can go up top to help and just type in property manager. If you're not on a Mac, you're going to go to options and then property manager. If we type in door frame material, you'll see the opening subcategory and the property that I've created. All I've done is go on new property, gave it a name, and added it to the group of openings. After that, we break it down some more. I go to value and select an option set in this case. The option set being steel, aluminium, or timber, and then select options setup. You're allowed to add as many options as you like by just simply going add, typing whatever you need, and going on and on. You can remove it, readjust it, and even select allow multiple choice. Now for this specific property, it isn't often that you have multiple door frames in the one frame. And if you did, then you just create a custom option instead. So I've made sure this isn't a multiple choice. After that, because I have value selected, I want it to predefine all my doors as steel. And then it's my choice to change them if I wish. Now, if I wanted that to be timber, I go to timber and everything becomes timber by default. A lot quicker and easier than changing every door, but you have to do it up front. Finally, the piece of the puzzle where everybody gets lost is availability for classifications. You can either go all, none, or custom. Typically when I'm making custom options, custom properties, I like to select custom, then edit and type in door and tick it on. So you'll see it automatically adds it here after that, which enables us to actually add it to the schedule. So if I didn't have door ticked here, for example, and door assigned here, then there's no way I'd be able to find it in this add fields. It just wouldn't come up. Once you've set up all the information that you need in this table, like I have, then you can work backwards and go back to your door and window favorites and update them. So for instance, let's open the problem door that I need to fix and have a look at it. Archicad has a bit of a weird glitch. If you don't have glass enabled, then glass isn't an option to change in our material settings. But if you change the style to have glass, then glass appears. So for all of my favorite doors, I've gone ahead and made sure that the material is glass not applicable. I've also created a series of new glass textures and a series of Dulux Pro Texture powder coated frame colors as well. So back in this case, DT glass, glass not applicable, and then we just toggle it back to style 1, so that disappears. Now that's an Archicad quirk rather than anything to do with the template. After that, most of the settings for the door are pretty much already defined in favorites or how you've set them up. Some of those extra properties and options that you've added at the very bottom will actually appear down the bottom here in classifications and properties. Now, the first thing you have to check is the door actually assigned as a door? So in my case, yes, it is. Then we have our door ID 01, non-load bearing, and it's an interior position door. All of these elements are correct, and we can scroll further down. I've also added a fire resistance level, which mine is default, no fire rating required. If I need to add a fire rating, then go ahead and add it. If you need a separate one, you go to the options list and add that separate fire rating level in specifically for the project. However, if we keep scrolling down, you'll also see fire exit set to false. You'll see U value, these values, both with the default text in it. Auto close set to false. Hinge type set to butt hinge, but I can easily change that to concealed, lift off, or slider kit here. Same as door frame, the wall mounted door stop options and door seal, passage set, and steel door frames. All of that's pre-set up for me already in my favorite, so that when I use this door, I don't have to go and actually update every single thing in my schedule. So it speeds up your workflow massively. Now, the more of these doors you create specific to your project type and location, the easier your life is going to be. I've started with some very basic doors, but I probably would go in and create a ton more in the near future. For example, the Easy Jam slider kit has a metal sliding frame, whereas potentially you need a timber frame version. Irrespective, they're all now in the default doors, ready to go and use in your project. Similarly, the windows themselves have also been updated and defined. So whilst ID, quantity, sill height, and head height might be default in CAD, window frame material is new, hardware is new, glass configuration is new, fly screens is new, U values, T values, and window treatments are all new. And because every time you put an awning window in, you don't want to have to go back into the project, find each individual awning window, scroll down, update the preferences, it's all saved to the favorite. You can of course change hardware, chain winder, for example, to electric chain winder here. But if it's not set up in default, then you got to do it for every single awning you've ever created. So it's nice to have all of those presets already in the project. It is very specific, obviously. So with an awning window, you need a manual chain winder. You're going to probably have double glazing, and you probably have some form of aluminium fly screen, if not even a stainless steel one. But on a fixed window, you have no hardware, you have no fly screen. So that information is absolutely useless if it was just replicated for each individual style. The style's been thought about, they've been planned through, and they should make a hell of a lot of sense to any window manufacturer working off your door and window schedule. Finally, if you're thinking, how do I add them to my layout? Well, super simple. They're fully set up. Drag, drop, let go, drag, drop, let go. Now, what you'll notice is door and window schedules come in as a 1-to-1 scale. So at the same time, if we open up our settings, I've gone ahead and created 2 DT title bars, one with scale and one without scale. So for door and window schedules, just select the one without scale. It'll remove the scale bar. It'll remove the scale title section. And because I've just realized that by having DT window schedule and DT door schedule, it messes with the title, I've just gone ahead and created a DT schedules folder for all the schedules I will go ahead and create along the track. That's all for me today, team. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you smash that subscribe button. And like always, I'll see you next week.